I love today's topic. Actually, if I could introduce it, I would say something that my father always told me, which is, friends come and go. Groups and friends come and go as well, so don't be too triggered by that. Like, move on, create the best friendships you can, but move on and think about your project. I think it's actually the best introduction for this precise video because we are gonna talk about your friends' support when you create new projects. When you do things out there, do you get the support that you think you deserve from your friends? How to create the best dynamics between you and your relationships. So today we're talking about all of that, but the really bizarre thing is that I'm dressed like sort of good news, when in reality I'm gonna share some really selfish advices today. Anytime I created something for school, for a startup that I created with people, for artistic projects, anytime I did that, I saw the real faces of my friends. I saw if there were just party friends, old-time friends, or real, actual friends you can count on when you need them. I'm absolutely not saying you should ditch any person who's not supporting you fully, any so-called friends who is not acting like so when you create new projects. If you are used to creating new things, which is, I think, more or less my case, well, people cannot always follow anything you do. People cannot be there for any new idea you have if you have too many. And also, some people are more interested in certain topics than others. If you have a friend who is in fond of finance, math, and cryptocurrencies, maybe this person will not follow you in your artistic projects. If you, launch an EP, if you create, pieces of art, maybe this person will be like, let me live my life in finance, let me alone. This is possible, and the reverse is possible as well with people who love arts, that you may bother if you're like, well, please subscribe to my channel talking about law and finance. Some people live in different worlds. This being said, we often expect a lot from people we know, and especially people we want to rely on. I don't know how to say, but some people are really important to you because you know them for a while. I'm talking about childhood friends, I'm talking about cousins, brothers, sisters. These people are supposed to be there for you in your mind. And I get it, and I'm one of the first persons to think that, actually. I really, really believe that a full, perfect friend is supposed to support you as much as possible. So I don't know if you've already created a page or a channel or a company, but when you need your first, supporters, are you asking some support to your friends? Yes or no? Most of the time you have to ask, the help of at least 10 people, something like that. You need at least, your parents, your aunt, your cousins, your best friends to be there. And it's always so frustrating when people don't do that, or when they don't do that fast enough or in a big way. This is so disappointing because sometimes we have big expectations. And as a matter of fact, the bigger the relationship, the bigger the expectations. And personally, because I've done several things, I've had several projects, both artistic projects, startup projects, and so on, I had the opportunity to see who loved what, in between my friends, who loved to support me for art, who loved to support me for things in the wild, for creating a startup or whatever, and it was so interesting. It was really an eye-opener. I really advise you to do that if you can, just to see who's there, just to see who really supports you. And most of the time, some people want to support you, but not for everything. And this is something I didn't understand at first. When I created my very first startup, I was like, I don't understand why those 50 people I was friends with at school are not supporting me. Well, they're working in law, they are working in finance, and they really don't care about, at the time, artistic makeup. And this is normal, and I get it. But I have to be honest with you. Will I support these people for anything they do? No. especially if people didn't support me actually. When you start a new project, especially when you create a company, which is something that requires a lot of time, budget, nights to work, in a really energized way. This is so hard to see people you love not supporting you fast enough, not supporting you quickly enough, like you asked them to just like your page and they didn't do it. It's been like 3 months, like come on, like my damn page, you're my childhood friend or whatever. And this is so frustrating. So again, I want to acknowledge that with you because maybe you haven't felt this pain before, but I want to tell you that if you're about to create a project and you need their support, you will probably be disappointed by a lot of people. And I mean a lot of people. People you think are going to support you for sure. You're like, well, of course I have 50 people who can support me. I'm sure of that. I have great relationships with them. I sold bread in a boulangerie with this person in 2005. Of course she's going to help me. We became friends afterwards. Of course this person is... No. Believe me, no. And again, what I want you to understand is that you need to see who is there for you and for what. You need to understand when you're going to create new things, who you can bother in a way for which kind of project. This is very important actually because when you create a new project, you don't need anyone to see it. You don't need anyone to interact with it if the interactions are poor. If, I don't know, you launch, for instance, a YouTube channel and the person is only watching your video 2 seconds, it's gonna kill your channel. Better stay, at home on the couch and watch a stupid show instead of interacting with your channel, believe me. And I really want you to be careful about the jealous people out there. I want you to be careful even of childhood friends who may have, relationships in your family, who may know your parents, who may, have a feeling of competition with you. Those people may like you to go to parties, to seek advice from you for any field in their lives, but maybe they won't be there because they feel a sense of competition with you. And this is not something taboo, actually. We can talk about it. I want to say it to you because at the beginning you will be so triggered. You will be so surprised to see some people are not there. But the cool part is that some people you didn't know about are gonna be there for you. And I'm talking about that one girl, you don't even remember the name, who wasn't really present in your life. You as well, you forgot about each other. But when you ask her, like my LinkedIn page, interact with this or that, please, with a little smile emoji, and you forgot about her, she is there and she sticks by your side to support you. And this is one of the most beautiful things of entrepreneurship. The most beautiful thing is really connecting with people who vibe with your project, who don't feel a sense of extreme jealousy and extreme envy towards what you're doing, who know that if you succeed, they succeed as well. If you make it, you will be able to create partnerships with whatever they are doing. Maybe you will hire them. Maybe you will feature them in one of your podcasts or videos on whatever social media that is. And I want you to surround yourself with intelligent people like that. I'm not saying people who may be jealous of you or who may ghost you during your new projects are dumb, stupid. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying they have a purpose in your life. And it's limited, obviously. It's limited to making 1 or 2 parties with you, to going shopping and grabbing a coffee. Well, personally, this is not the kind of relationships I like the most, so I don't encourage you to dive all in and to spend most of your time with these people. But again, if you feel like they are real friends for other things, keep them in your life, nourish these relationships. But I want you not to be crazy about supporting them, because this is so easy to fall in the trap of supporting someone who doesn't support you back ever. It happened to me. I can think about at least 10 people, especially women, who acted like they were always there for me, always calling me for advices, relationships, work, whatever that is. I was always there till 3, 4 in the morning, always. And then I realized that the day I needed their little support that takes like literally 1 second. These persons were not there for me. And when they create something, when they get, a new position and they put it on LinkedIn or whatever that is, people like you and I who want to be really genuinely present for people. We go all in, we support, we cheer people up. I want you to reserve it to the right persons. There is no hate here, but I want you to give the best of you to people who really deserve it. I want you to have a memory of who sticks for you or not. I want you to understand why, because some people have different reasons. Maybe you hurt someone in the past and you didn't notice. Ask yourself if that's true. Try to resolve it if you can and if you want. Maybe this person again is jealous. Maybe this one doesn't care about your business. But this is super important to see what is going on. These days, we have amazing possibilities in social medias. We can also see sometimes who saw our profile. For instance, on TikTok. Sometimes I see that, one of my cousins is often seeing my profile, never interacting or whatever. And I'm like, what are you doing? What do you want? Like, do you really think that if tomorrow you're creating a knitting business about creating pullovers, I'm gonna like your posts? I'm sorry, but no, this is win-win. So I hope you liked this video. I hope it can speak to people like you, because again, I really want to encourage the best practices as I can. I really want people to be fulfilled, maybe around me, far away from me. I don't know in which country you are. For myself also, for my family and friends, I want the best for everyone. But I want you to make wise choices. I want you to value your time, your energy, and your love.